to Fantasy Sports Island. Look who's back, Johnny Ballgame. Welcome
Missed
back.
you guys.
Bring it in.
Bring it in here for the real
Bring
thing.
it
Come on,
in.
dude.
Bring it in.
Guys, of course,
Missed you guys.
we got the Fantasy Rolls Royce. Welcome back, Royce. And we got this week's champion, Sir Poops a Lot.
First time ever
Well played,
champ.
sir.
Tony destroyed us this week, guys. With
Not all of us. He didn't beat me.
he won the week.
No, that's
and
true.
He had Mahomey. He had Aaron Jones. He had some
He had a
Deontay
nice
Johnson,
one. Yeah.
and he had some DJ Moore.
He did beat me in one of our leagues bad. Like, he beat me bad. He spanked me in one of our leagues.
How you feeling tonight, Tony, after that huge week?
I want to talk more about the spanking.
Bet you do.
It felt good. Felt good. You need that every once in a while. Because I had a couple other leagues where I was tanking terribly. So to have these two pull off a good week, man, it helped a lot.
Yeah, fantasy football is a circle, baby. It comes around. You're gonna
Oh,
have
it comes
your good
back.
weeks. You're gonna have
Yeah.
your bad weeks. Just hang in there. Anyhow, tonight we got a great show, guys. The first thing we want to do is, if you enjoy this content, make sure you hit that like button. You want to subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we do this every week. You'll get notified every time we put out a new episode. And guys, the last video was our biggest one yet, so we appreciate your support. We had a ton of likes, a ton of views.
Nice.
Thank
Still
you.
coming.
Well, I'm not here.
Guys, we love it. Love it. Keep it going. All right, guys. So tonight we got news and notes, panic button. We got some fantasy heroes and zeros, matchups. We got the all poop team. This all sounds great, right? You guys ready to go?
Good.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do this.
Let's roll.
All right, here we go.
News and notes around the NFL.
All right, news and notes around the NFL. We're going to start with the boring story tonight, and that is Carson Wentz is very questionable this week against the Titans with 2 sprained ankles. Michael Pittman finally broke out this week, had a great game. And now, does that curb your enthusiasm if Carson Wentz is out? What do you think, John?
First of all, I'm shocked that Carson Wentz is injured. I mean, I know they're probably all like, what?
What?
That's crazy talk.
Really?
Yeah, and I will say this: when Aaron Donald lands on you and your ankle turns like that, it should be sprained. You got to give him that one. The other twisted there, I don't know anything about, but I think he's gonna be out for a couple weeks. Personally, I thought that was a bad ankle, and yeah, it certainly does put my my trust in Pittman at jeopardy. Not that I had a giant amount of trust in him anyway. He was riding my bench in one of my leagues because he was not great the first week, but I thought he looked fantastic last week, and he was kind of why I took a flyer and drafted him anyway. But yeah, with Eason throwing, I have no confidence in him catching anything.
I have zero confidence in Easton. He looked like crap when he came in the game. The offense completely sputtered. That's not a good look. I'm hoping Carson Wentz is back because I do have a lot of shares of Pittman. Funny story, I freaking dropped that guy in our league, in our big pay league, and I scrambled to go get him back right before Carson Wentz got injured. So it seems to be my
Oh,
luck.
God.
Actually, the funny thing is you picked him up right before I was trying to get him.
You were trying to get him too. That's right.
He was showed free agent on my app, and so I picked him up, and then it's like, nope. And then it was you that took him. I was like, damn it.
That's right. All right, next story. This one's for you, Tony, because Aaron Jones lit up the night. Wow, 17 carries, 67 yards and a touchdown just on the ground. And he added 6 catches, 48 yards, and 3 touchdowns. What do you think, Tony?
It was awesome. I almost felt like it was a little set up though, because we were texting during that game last night. We're like, I felt like I'm not complaining because it was badass, and I got him in a couple leagues, so it was fantastic. But kind of like Rodgers and him going, hey, we need another touchdown, and I need to throw one, and you need to catch one. So run over there, and I'll get it to you. But it was awesome either way. They can do that every week, man. I'm supportive.
Dude, I'm so glad you said that because I found the game to be – it was all Aaron Jones. He was taking him down the field. And then Aaron Rodgers decided to be a dick and had to get the touchdown passes. They would get to the goal line, and he's like, let me just throw it to Aaron Jones instead of like letting him run it in the way he deserved to after all that work.
Yeah.
I felt Aaron Rodgers had another mediocre game. It just looks good because he had 4 touchdowns because he's a dick.
I mean, he did go 22 for 27. It's not like
Right?
he had
He
a shit.
did.
He
Yeah.
did. How many yards was it? Like 250?
Yeah,
It's like
something like
240,
that.
240 burger. Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and he dropped a dime into Adams too. That was a beautiful.
He actually,
pass.
yeah, that was a
That
good
was a
throw.
nice-
That was a
that
good
was
throw.
good.
I'm gonna give him credit. That pass to Tonyan was pretty freaking amazing.
Yeah.
It was. The guy was right
Yeah.
on him. I mean,
That was a laser. That was, and you're right, Tony.
window was like this, maybe, right? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
True.
He shouldn't even have thrown the pass. He's double covered, but he just put it in the perfect spot. It was amazing.
He channeled his inner Favre.
Yeah. So do we think that the Packers are back and Aaron Rodgers is just going to be Aaron Rodgers now, or was this a mirage because they were playing the lowly Lions defense? What do you guys think?
Chuck, you said it best at the end there. What'd you say at the end there?
The lowly Lions defense.
There we go.
Here's
The Lions.
my thing. The Lions were up at halftime, 17-14. So do I think
Yeah.
the Pack? No, I think the Lions just went, oh God, that's right. We're the Lions. And so I think they started playing like the Lions should play.
Golf happened. That's what happened.
Golf happens. Yeah.
The rain didn't help too much. I always feel bad for the Lions. Golf. He makes me
I
feel
do too.
bad for him. I don't know why, but like a glimmer of hope. You're kind of like, dude, he's racking up some yards, threw a couple good passes, and he's walking off the sidelines when they're winning to the sidelines, and he looks kind of confident. And then they come back out and just look terrible when it's raining, and he's bobbling the ball and throwing picks. It's awful.
It's almost
It's
like
like,
God was watching the game and he's like, wait a minute, why is golf having a make it rain? Make it rain.
Right?
All right. Speaking of fabulous performances, I think this guy even topped what Aaron Jones did, and that's Derrick Henry. He had 147 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns in the second half. As the Titans made an epic comeback and beat the Seahawks in Seattle 33-30. This has to go down as one of the most epic halves I've ever seen from a running back in fantasy football. He finishes with 182 yards rushing and is now the leading rusher in the NFL. Duh. I mean,
Again.
is this guy
Again,
going to rush?
right.
Is he going to run for 2,000 yards again this year? I mean, he's on pace to do it. What do you think, John?
I don't think he'll get 200, but I guarantee he'll get closer than anybody else ever has. Not 200, 2,000. But I think, God, you're right. That was one of the best halves I've ever seen by a running back ever. And he just reminded you why he is the king, why he's King Henry.
Yeah, just when last week we were all watching Henry struggled and got a few yards in the second half, but everyone was worried about Derrick Henry, and this week he put all of that to rest. I mean, monster freaking game.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have some injuries that we need to talk about, and we'll start with the rib injuries. Amari Cooper, Darrell Henderson, and Tua all suffered rib injuries. All are questionable for week 3. Do any of them play? Do some of them play? What's your gut tell you? I'm going to start with you, Royce. Do you think Cooper, Henderson, and Tua play this week?
Yeah, I think so. I think what I'm hearing is it's a soft rib injury. Is that a thing? And if we saw anything what Brissett did when he came in, I don't think they scored any points in the last game, did they? They scored as many points as
We did.
Ayuk had 1 point. I apologize. I'm sorry. He almost said as many as Ayuk did. We'll get that in that later though. Yeah, I think you have to, right? I mean, the guy, he knows injury. He's been injured his whole friggin' college and NFL career. I think you got to wheel him out there. I think he's going to play, right?
So you think Tua's a go. What about Amari Cooper? Tony, what do you think? Amari Cooper going to play this week?
I think he will. He's going to rally. He has to. He's had too many injuries also. CeeDee Lamb is amazing, and he needs to keep going, dude. I think he wants to be number 1, and he could be, even though we all like CeeDee Lamb a little bit better. But yeah, he's gonna kick it into gear and he's gonna start.
All right, and John, is Darrell Henderson going to play this week? What do you think?
I don't. I actually think he's one of the ones that I think is the most in jeopardy of not playing. I think you'll see a lot of Sony Michel. If he does play, he won't play much. That running back, you take so many shots anyway. For some reason, I just don't think he's going to play.
I agree with you. I think he's going to be out, and I think we're going to see the Sonny Michel show. I also think that you are right. Amari Cooper is going to play poop, but I think because he's going to play with sore ribs, he's going to come up small again and have another terrible week, which he had this week. So that's good because
he's a bad play this week. I agree with you.
Yeah, and guess who has him? Keith. We talked that smack last week. How's it feel to be having a bad week, huh, buddy?
Come on, Keith.
Come on, Keith.
You're better than that.
All right, and then I got one for you, John. Your boy Jarvis Landry, who stung you a little bit this week as you played him. He goes to the IR and will miss at least 3 weeks with an MCL sprain. Also, Ben Roethlisberger is questionable with a left pectoral injury. Wait, Big Ben's hurt? What? Come on. All right, so my question to you is, does Odell Beckham now get some love if he comes back this week because they have nobody else? And does Ben Roethlisberger's injury sour you on those 3 wide receivers?
So I think let's take the first one, which Odell. So I think Odell will play this week. I think they're finally going to have to. I mean, they're going to have to roll him out. Otherwise, it's Donovan Peoples-Jones and everybody else who's playing. Actually, I think what's going to happen is the tight ends are going to get play. I think Njoku's probably a sneaky play this week, and I think Hooper's a sneaky play this week because he's got to throw to somebody, and I'm not sure that Odell's healthy enough. If Odell was healthy, he'd have been playing last week. He'd have been playing the first week, and he hasn't yet. So I think they're going to roll him up, but I don't know that I would trust him. I wouldn't trust him. I would never play Odell this week, whether they could tell me he's 100% healthy, and I'd still be like, meh. I like the tight ends better in this one.
And I think Roethlisberger is definitely going to play. You know, Big Ben, he likes to create all this drama, how he plays.
He does.
He's got a tiny injury. He's fine. He's going to play. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
All right, those are your news and notes for the week. Let's move on to our next segment.
The panic button.
And is it time to hit that panic button? Let's go through some players, talk about, is it time to panic now? Or is it time to just chill, relax, and wait it out? Let's start with Ezekiel Elliott. I asked this last week. I'm going to ask again. Although he did have a decent game and did get a touchdown, he once again was outscored in fantasy football by his teammate in the backfield, Tony Pollard. And Pollard was once again the pass-catching back and the 2-minute drill back. So I'm going to ask, is it time for you to panic about your first-round pick, Ezekiel Elliott? Tony, what do you think?
Not quite yet. The more I've been reading and listening and so on and so forth, it was kind of sounds like it's more planned, that they're trying to, they are very confident they're going to go deep into the playoffs, and they want Zeke healthy, rested, ready to go. And give it another week or two. I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to get more carries. I really do.
You agree with that, Royce? What do you think?
I'm hitting the panic button. Pollard came in, and he looks like the better back, guys. Doesn't he? He hits the hole harder. He catches the ball. He had, I think, about 13 carries. We'll talk about him later. He's more explosive. The problem is you're not paying Zeke $15 million to sit back there on third down and block for you. You know, he's going to get his ball. He's going to get his touches. But Pollard looks like a better player, man. I'm hitting the panic button.
Nice. Before I say what I think about it, I want to know what John thinks, because Zeke was your boy coming in this year. Tell me, what do you think, man?
I own a lot of shares of Zeke. I was sort of hoping that Pollard would break a spleen or something.
Break a spleen.
Because I was really tired of him getting those passes, and he does look good. I'm not panicked about Zeke yet. I kind of like this early because I need Zeke down the stretch. I feel like it's going to keep him fresh. I feel like in the second half of the season, you're going to see Zeke just totally go off. So I'm definitely not panicking on Zeke yet.
Okay, so it's not quite time to panic on Zeke. My thought is, while it's not time to panic, it is time to accept that he's in an RBBC. And unless Pollard does go down to injury, this is, I believe, a sign of things to come. It's just going to continue. Pollard looks like the better back, but Zeke is still the guy that you will trust down the stretch. When you need a big touchdown at the goal line, they're going to Zeke. I'm not worried about that. But I do think they're going to mix in Pollard quite a bit, just like they've done the first 2 weeks. I think this continues. Also, if you notice, there was a switch in Dallas, the way they played their game. This was a let's pound the ball and win this ball game instead of trying to air it out. And I think this is also something that might change. And that means Dak Prescott isn't going to be getting 400 yards every game like we thought. Do you agree?
Uh-oh, Keith. Uh-oh.
I told you it's early, bro. All right. Next guy. And this one's for me. I want to know, do you guys think it's time to hit that panic button on Chase Claypool? Tony, let me ask you.
You could ask me 5 more times. The only thing I'm going to say now is Deontay's a little banged up. So is Roethlisberger, but they're still not putting together a monstrous weeks. So I'm aware, I'm concerned. I'm not quite panicked, but if this happens 2 more weeks, I will be panicked and I'll be very disappointed. But since Deontay's banged up, we'll see. It might be this Sunday. This might be the telling week. They got to get these fucking guys the ball, man. I mean, excuse my language, but they are not airing the ball out, and it's pissing me off. And I've seen these dudes; they look semi-open. They have great wide receivers. Semi-open is plenty. Tall, lanky, fast dudes get them the ball, and they're not really doing it. So I don't know if it's Tomlin, I don't know if it's play calls, I don't know if it's Roethlisberger, but I'm getting close, but not quite yet.
The offensive line doesn't give Ben enough time to sit back there and get that ball out to Claypool.
That's true.
Catches for 70 yards, but you're right. I still think they're not utilizing his skills to his potential. And obviously, it appears that Big Ben's kind of looking more towards Juju and Deontay. And I get that eerie feeling that Chase it's going to be a lot like last year. He's going to have a couple big games, but he's not the number 2 wide receiver that I thought he was going to be on that team. And I am concerned, but I'm not ready to panic just yet.
And do you think that he's looking at Juju more because he's getting rushed? He's getting attacked. He's got to dump it quicker.
Yep.
Yeah, Juju runs a lot of underneath routes, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he runs those hot routes, whereas Claypool's the long ball guy.
Right.
So, I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a little worried about Claypool. Here's what we saw last year in the beginning of the year. Roethlisberger was throwing heaving balls. They didn't have as bad a line as they do this year, but it wasn't great last year. He was long passes, getting long touchdowns. And then as the year went on, his arm faded. Everybody saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Started this year, he's not throwing the long ball. He's still throwing these short passes. I'm a little worried that Ben just doesn't have it in his arm anymore.
Oof. Man, I hope that's wrong. Let's just hope that once they shore up the offensive line and give him a little more time,
Let's hope.
airing it out. Because in the preseason, we saw it. We saw it in the preseason. He had a couple of bombs. He looked like the old Big Ben, or the younger Big Ben, I should say. But anyway.
Much more svelte too. You know how slimmed down.
Oh yeah, dude, that diet did wonders, huh?
Yes, he's a rail.
All right, Antonio Gibson, 13 carries, 69 yards, 2 catches for 4 yards.
Ooh.
And J.D. McKissick was once again the
How you feel?
He got the 2-minute drill, touchdown. Do we hit the panic button? I'm going to start with you, Royce.
No, not yet. It sounds like the same thing that's happening in Dallas right now, right? Gibson's numbers are better second game than they were first game. Again, JD's going to be the third down back again. That looks like it's how it's going to be. I just need a big game from Gibson. I'm not ready to hit the panic button yet. He is getting carries. He is getting touches. So hopefully that will equate. I got a good matchup this week, so let's hope. Not quite yet, but getting worried, let's say.
Right now, he's running back 27. Last year, in a similar situation, he finished running back 15. So he's a top 15 back. Right now, he's running back 27. And he's getting more carries this year than he did last year so far. So I think there's a little mean regression to the mean. I think he's going to start scoring some more points. He'll start getting those touchdowns.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. I'm not ready to hit the panic button.
Not right.
Agree?
Yeah, I'm just upset a little bit for you, Royce. I don't have any shares in Gibbs, but the whole narrative coming out of the season, it wasn't Gibson a receiver before, so
Yeah,
he's going to be catching all these passes out of the
right.
back, and they're going to use him in that, and they're just not. It's not using him like that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, again, it's early.
It is.
Second week. Let's hope we get it together. Like, I think Gibson's due
Like
for a
he's
big
a,
game.
I feel like he's a buy low candidate though in some leagues.
I agree.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay, so we got another one for Keith. Clyde Edwards, hell no. 13 carries for 46 yards, no catches, and a crucial fumble that cost him the game.
Ooh.
Are you worried? Are we hitting the panic button on Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
Yes.
Yes. John says yes. We all say yes. I say hell yes. Hit that panic button.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Clyde
Guess who
Edward,
got the
hell
rushing
yes.
touchdown? Who got the rushing touchdown in that game? Backup. Williams.
Williams.
Yep. So I'm very concerned. Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't look quick.
Looks worse than he did last year.
Yeah, he does. He looks worse than last year. I agree. I'm very concerned. Does anybody think there's any chance that he could turn this around, or are we just seeing he's just a mediocre running back? What do we think?
I'm wondering if the Chiefs aren't taking a step back this year a little bit. Like just the offense in general. Like I think like defenses are starting to figure them out a little bit. And Mahomes is fantastic. He's still Mahomes. You watch him, you're still like, he's unbelievable. How does he do those things? But it's not quite as dynamic as it has been in the past. And I think the Ravens beating them shows that they're human again. And I think that's a little blood in the water now. It's like a little chum. People are going to start going after them. They're going to go, okay, what the Ravens do to beat those guys? So,
Yep. We'll see. It's the Chiefs easily could have won that game.
Yeah.
They were going to win that game. Yeah, he doesn't fumble.
Yeah.
They win that game. If he doesn't
Exactly.
fumble.
If he doesn't fumble, they win that game.
Yeah.
So I'm not concerned about the Chiefs at all, but I am.
nice
concerned
job,
about-
Clyde.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Saquon Barkley, 13 carries for 57 yards, 2 catches for 12, but he had 41 on 1 carry of the 57. So the rest of the carries were 12 carries for 16 yards.
Mhm.
Are we hitting the panic button on Saquon, or is he just still kind of getting back from that injury? Go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I hit the panic button last summer. I mean, he's not going to be ready. It's not going to happen. So it doesn't mean that he's not going to put some numbers together, but if he's not 100% and he's out there getting thrown around right now, how healthy is he going to be in 5 or 6 weeks? I don't know. It kind of makes me nervous, but he'll be okay. I think what you saw is going to be, he may have a couple decent games, but I don't think he's going to do much more. I never thought he was. So I know from time to time I ranked him in the top 10, but it's nerve wracking, dude. The guy's banged up. He's not going to have a huge year.
I think he could have a good second half. It's going to take him a long time to get back from those. He injured all the L's, right? I mean, that's a bitch of an injury to come back from.
Yeah.
And they're limiting his carries and they're trying to keep him healthy because I think they're going to ramp him up in the second half. So I'm not giving up on him, and I wouldn't drop him. But I might look to trade him if you have him. I don't know. Maybe it's a good buy low candidate. What do you think, John?
Nope. Don't you dare.
Nope. Okay.
Low. No. First of all, his backup when he comes in has no room to run either. So it's not just Saquon. The line's good. They don't open holes. The defense is back there before he can even get a head of steam to run. They didn't do anything to shore up that line, and we thought that line was terrible last year. So congratulations, everybody. You got the same exact thing. I didn't panic on Saquon because, like Tony, I never had him up here to panic about. I was never going to have Saquon on my team. I never thought he was going to be good. He needed at least another half year to rest and get ready. And I just don't think he's going to be good this year.
None of us were on him. We were all off of him.
Yeah.
But I would buy low if I could get him cheap right now, like a couple pennies on the dollar. I'd definitely do
If
it.
you're talking like trade for Marquez Callaway, yeah, I'd do that just because.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
get to you later.
There's another one for you.
Okay, let's move on. This one, I want to start with Royce because we were talking about this earlier. A.J. Brown, 3 catches for 43 yards, not getting them targets like he got last year so far. Julio had a bunch of targets in this game. Even in the comeback effort, they were pounding the ball with Henry, but when they were throwing, they were going to Julio. Julio had a touchdown called back. It looked like Julio was starting to get his legs under him. Does that concern you about A.J. Brown going forward?
No, I think it's a good thing. Get the ball to Julio. No, that frees up A.J. Brown. That's okay. That's fine. You gotta spread the love. You don't want 20 targets going to A.J. Brown. You don't. You want a little bit more to Julio. It's gonna open up A.J. Brown. Now that Henry's back, they're gonna run the ball. It's gonna open up the wide receivers. Remember, A.J. Brown had a decent game week 1. He had a touchdown.
Yep.
You know what? It's like Tampa Bay. Not everyone's gonna get. There's only one ball. It's okay. I'm telling you, I'm not worried. Ballgame looks a little worried. I know that's his guy, but I think he's gonna be fine, guys. Seriously.
I guarantee you, John is not worried.
I'll tell you what. I'll go on the line right now. 2 touchdowns, A.J. Brown Sunday. I'll tell you right now. Boom.
This week?
Like it.
Yes.
I like it.
I like it.
I love Titans. I'm telling you, that game turned. I don't know what was said at halftime. I'm telling you, it's a different team. I love everybody on that team right now.
It's like they remembered they were the Titans from last year. It's like just like Detroit
Well,
remembered they were Detroit.
I love that movie too. Remember the Titans.
Hey!
I like that.
All right. I'm going to go to you, Tony, for this next one. Joe Burrow, 19 of 30 for 207, 3 interceptions. He basically got a bunch of yards and 2 late junk touchdowns that saved his day. But I kind of thought he looked pedestrian again. He impressed me in week 1 because of his poise. He didn't put up big numbers, but this week he didn't look good. What do you think?
He didn't look that great. I'm not super concerned because it's just like talking about Barkley. You're coming off a major injury. Plus, he's incredibly young. He's got a lot to fix, a lot to prove, a lot to improve. He'll be all right. To put up the numbers that he's putting up in his situation, it's still not too shabby. A couple of the interceptions were, well, one was like, a pass was deflected kind of thing. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. He'll be fine. He has a great brain. He's a really good football mind. So once he gets a little bit more comfortable, I think they'll be okay over there.
I agree. And they played a tough Bears defense in, Soldier Field. That's a tough ask of Joe Burrow. So, John, you keep shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I mean, I do ask him not to throw 3 interceptions in a row. That's not that tough of an ask. How about that? No, I'm kind of with Tony on this. I didn't have huge expectations. He got injured later in the season last year, so his recovery and comeback, I think, is even more premature than Saquon's. But I don't panic on him yet. I'm not panicking on him. He's got some great receivers. He's got some weapons around him. That line's still got to gel a little bit. I think give him a little bit more time. But he looked fantastic in week 1. He just looked like he got bared in Chicago.
Yeah.
In week. So.
All right.
Yeah, and real quick to jump back on your point, Chuck. In Ballgame, you've been talking about them preseason. The Bears defense is good. They're good. Dude. Remember, they were only down 7 to the Rams in the 4th quarter in the first game. And
yeah, but man, so many open receivers in the.
I know, but that's I understand that.
But they fixed it. They fixed it.
I mean, and Cincinnati's not great, but they have weapons, man. They do.
Yeah.
And the 3, I applaud you, man. Kept them to 17 points.
Yeah.
That's a good game. So
you got to give them credit. They also shut down Bro Mixon, but we'll also get to that later. All right, last guy I want to ask if we were panicking on, and John, I'm coming right back to you because you were off this guy this year. But you ended up drafting him because he kind of fell to you in the first round in our sleeper draft. Alvin Kamara, RB21 right now, and the offense looks bad. Are you concerned?
I mean, after week 1, we're like, the Saints are good, man. I mean, they got those 5 touchdowns. Kamara scored points. I'm going to just chalk this up to an anomaly. I think it was, first of all, I think the Panthers defense is way better than anyone expected. And it will easily be the most streamed defense this week. Easily. If you didn't already own them, you wanted to pick them up because they're playing the Texans and Tyrod's out and they're playing a rookie who's barely ever played a game. So that defense is really fantastic. So I'm not panicking yet on Kamara. I might try and buy him because I'm kind of, if I didn't own him, if I'm at, in my other leagues, I'd try and buy Kamara right now because right now I think he'll end up doing well. He had a couple clunker games last season and he was freaking phenomenal. So
True.
Great point on the Carolina defense. I'm glad you said that because the Panthers are getting no respect. I mean, this team is good.
no,
They're good.
yeah,
They're making
that dude,
the playoffs.
that coach drafted all defense last year.
He sure
And then
did.
went, hey, how about some more defense? That guy is, by the way, he's my early front runner for coach of the year.
Absolutely.
That is an unbelievably different team than it was.
Absolutely.
Fantasy Heroes and Zeros.
Time for a fun segment, Fantasy Heroes and Fantasy Zeros. We're going to talk about two guys each that came through for us and were big heroes and two guys that just came up small and were zeros for us. And I'm going to start with you, John. Your first hero is a quarterback. Let me have it.
Yeah. This guy's surprised, I think, everybody this year. Not that he's not a good quarterback. He's never been a fantasy elite quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. Derek Carr, through the first 2 weeks, is the MVP of the league.
True.
Think about it.
I
If you
can't
had to
laugh at
vote for an MVP today, you go, Derek Carr win. Congratulations. I mean, it's not a 2-game season. He's phenomenal. I mean, he's like a completely different person.
He's had 2 great games.
Yeah.
But that's bullshit. He's not the MVP. Not the MVP so far. He's your fantasy
He is?
hero. That's
Who's
fine.
better? Who's
Mahomes.
better right now?
Mahomes.
Mahomes.
Come on.
One.
Where's he at on the scores?
Mahomes number 1.
Is he?
Yeah.
Not in yards.
Yeah, but he's expected to be.
Not in yards, but in points.
But he's expected to be. That's the thing. That's why this guy is my fantasy hero.
No,
Eight.
absolutely. Good pick. Good call.
Yeah.
All right. Royce,
Yes.
you have a fantasy hero for us at quarterback as well for you this week. Name him.
God, Chuck, you're kicking yourself with these first 2 games watching him. You talked the big talk, but you didn't get him.
Didn't.
I didn't like him. I don't think anybody has liked him. He was the number one. He was the number 1 QB this week. Mr. Kyler. Don't call me 5'9".
Yeah.
Right? Let me tell you something.
Just do. Yep.
That game, if I was sitting in front of my TV and I had an Xbox controller and somebody walked in and looked over and looked at the TV and said, "Oh, you must have Kyler Murray. Are you playing him right now?" It looks like a video game out there, doesn't he?
Did.
He's crazy good. Guys, he had 400 yards. I mean, he ran for 400 yards this way to get those 400 yards. I mean, he had three passing touchdowns. He did have 2 interceptions, but so what? You get 400 yards, you're gonna get some picks. He had 5 rushes for 31 yards and a rushing TD. This team is the second most scoring behind Tampa Bay right now, 36 points a game. It's a video game. It's fun. He's almost must watch, right? I mean, if Arizona's on the red zone, or not even in the red zone, we're gonna see what he does. He's fun.
For now.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's early.
Listen here, Poop.
For now. I did the same thing last year. My shoulder kind of hurts. And he gets worn out and he sucks for 5 weeks.
We got hurt week 12 or something.
He's a phenomenal talent. We'll see what
fun.
happens.
Tony,
He's fun.
he did come out of the gates blazing last year, but not this good. And not with this many weapons. That Rondale Moore is just
No more.
explosive. He's like Tyke Hill out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I tried to tell you guys, but I'm gonna let it. It's early. It's early. I'm not gonna say anything more than that.
Yeah.
I will
right,
say
next.
this.
Go
I
ahead.
will say this. I will give you this. I didn't think he would do this good out of the gates. So I'm gonna give it to you. I'm gonna give it to you. He's way better than I thought he was gonna be first 2 games.
Okay. All right, Tony, your hero, also a quarterback. Let me have it.
I'm going to call him LeJock. That's my new name for him. Lamar Jackson. He was, here's another guy. Okay. Obviously he is a tremendous talent, but he kind of Reminds me of the kid in Arizona. These running QBs against the right team do not always prevail. And he proved me wrong. He kicked some ass the other night, man. Kicked some serious ass. Ran the ball. They couldn't stop him. Those running touchdowns are tremendous. He's my hero, man. He beat Johnny Ballgame for me. He did. Him and Henry.
But Johnny has Lamar Jackson in
I
our
have
league.
him in our other league. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see the
He knows
smile
how
on
to-
that asshole from ear to ear. All the way from Tennessee, I could feel him
God.
smiling while watching that game. Great game.
I've never seen a quarterback run like that guy. I mean, and Kyler, you make the joke because he runs all over. Lamar's always moving forward, man. Even when he's moving sideways, he's moving forward. Like that, you talk about video game. That was like something I had on my joystick the other day. Like those moves, just unbelievable.
He makes the Madden moves, yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, my hero was Nick Chubb. Even though he didn't have a great game, he came through with a 26-yard touchdown late in the game to salvage a pretty good week. He only got 11 carries, and he turned it into 95 yards. And while I didn't have an explosive week, he turned my week from mediocre to pretty decent. So he's my fantasy hero at running back. And there's not much else to say. Nick Chubb's a beast. If he got more carries, if Kareem Hunt would just fracture his leg, he'd be a top 2 or 3 running back, right, guys?
I think you'll get more carries this week, Chucky, because I think they're going to try to run it a little bit more because of the receiver situation. So
I agree. I'm looking forward to it. All right, John, I'm coming right back to you for another hero. This one's at wide receiver. Who's your boy?
yeah. And again, I don't have any shares of this guy, so I just went straight. If you've got one of these guys, my honorable mention was going to be Teddy Bridgewater because he's currently the 9th-ranked fantasy quarterback, and almost nobody has him except for me. He's on my bench, but Cooper Kupp is the guy I'm looking at. I just didn't expect him to go off like he is. I expect him to be pretty good, like he always is. He through the first 2 weeks is just stupid right now. I mean, it's unbelievable how well he's doing. He's always open, always gets in the end zone. And his hands got to be the best hands in the league, right? I mean, you see his pure catching with his hands. You never see him cradle it. You never see him put against his body. It's just unbelievable.
That is Stafford's boy.
Yeah.
Coop. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It really is.
Ball game, you're right. I mean, when the passes he catches, you look and go, where's the defense? He's open all the time.
Always open.
Always open. Like there's no one around him. It's crazy. Yeah.
Talk more about him later.
Dude.
All right, Royce, I'm coming back to you for a hero, and this was someone that we've already spoken about.
Yeah.
Back.
We talked about my Derrick Henry for me. I mean, I had him in my league. I was down, and then the second half happened, and then I'm going to win. It was 47 points in my league, almost 48. It just what makes me amazing about this. The team was down at halftime, and they decided let's just give it to our horse. Let's just and through the game they were down into the overtime, ran the ball, and they won.
Never panicked.
Never panicked.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
Just give it. And that's why also too, just a little off point here, always play your hammers. Always play your hammers every single week.
Always play your hammers.
Doesn't matter what they did last week or what the matchup is. Derrick Henry should be played. If they put 15 guys on the line, you play him every Sunday or Monday or Thursday or
Amen.
Right?
Sometimes Wednesday. Yeah.
Sometimes Wednesday. Maybe it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
London
COVID Wednesday
on a Friday. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to Tony, and let's do another freaking great running back. Who's your hero?
We're going right back to Aaron Jones. We already discussed this. This guy killed it for me. One of my head-to-head leagues, I was down by 30-some points, and we literally wrote it off because I was looking at the week before. I was like, this isn't going to happen. I'm like, another touchdown? Oh, there's hope. Another touchdown? Oh, we got this. And then the shit talking started. Yeah, I mean, he redeemed himself personally since we all expected it and we all took him first round. So he is my hero, bigger than Lamar.
So in our FFPC Big Money League, $350 for entry, we all teamed up. We got Aaron Jones. We had a horrible week. We were down by 47 points going into Monday Night Football. All we had was Aaron Jones. I was like, whatever, we lost. We got worked. Aaron Jones got us 46. We came up 1 point
1
short.
point short.
And I blame Jared Goff because he'd stopped fumbling the ball. Aaron Jones would have had to stay in the game a little longer and would have gotten one more freaking point.
Yeah.
Damn that Goff.
Hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. All right, I'm going to go a little different here with my hero, the Tampa Bay defense. They saved my week. 2 defensive touchdowns on interceptions in back-to-back drives in the fourth quarter. They also had a defensive touchdown called back on a questionable penalty call earlier in the game. They also added another interception and a sack, so they had an explosive, tremendous game for defense. So I'd like to thank the Tampa Bay defense for coming through for me. And there's not much more to say. It's a defense, so we're going to move on. All right. Now, we're going to talk about our fantasy zeros. These guys let us down big time. We're going to start with you, Tony. You had a quarterback that let you down. Who was it?
I don't think he's going to let down much more, but Dak. Dak hurt a lot. He destroyed me in a couple leagues. I understand maybe the play calling was, like Royce was saying, ground and pound, but he, after having a superb week the week before with all those points and all those touchdowns, yeah, he broke my heart, man. Broke my heart. I mean, he did okay. They won the game. That's what's important if it comes down to football, but it did not help for my fantasy teams whatsoever.
Yeah, we'll see if that continues. I think he didn't have any touchdowns in that game, which is an oddity. That's not going to happen again. All right. Let's move on to Royce. You're 0, also a quarterback. Who was it?
Yeah, it was Jameis Winston. Did everybody get on that train after week 1? Woo! MVP. Using Derek Carr territory, right? Ball game. Come on. He had almost 40 points first week. He had 8.34. He came back to earth. 111 passing yards, no touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I did run for one touchdown, but if he didn't get that, God, he would have had maybe 2-3 points. So yeah, that Saints came back down to earth. Not a big surprise.
He Jameised it.
Yeah, it was a lot of talk. Oh, Green Bay, they shut him down, blah blah blah. But no, sorry, back to earth.
Yep. All right, John, yours fantasy 0 was a running.
So I'm going to change. Yeah, I'm going to change it. I've already talked about Saquon. When you asked me this originally, you said who are my fantasy heroes and zeros, and Saquon to me is a zero. He's the 44th ranked running back right now. 44th ranked running back in our league, and so our 44th ranked overall. But either way, it's still bad. My fantasy zero for this week though was Jarvis Landry. Got me 1 point. He had 1 catch and then hurt his knee, and then he was out, and it really just I could put any of my other receivers in there and had an unbelievably phenomenal week. So and I had a good week. You just get that one that like you could go off. Like I could be so much further towards Keith, who's still winning us in winning our league in total points. But yeah, he killed me.
All right, my fantasy 0 was Josh Allen, who I just traded for. I made that big trade expecting big things, and he honestly usually destroys the Dolphins, so I was expecting a massive game, but he comes up small. 17 for 33 for 179. He did have 2 passing touchdowns, and he ran in a touchdown, which would have been nice, but because of a stupid NFL rule where now quarterbacks they consider quarterbacks head first dives to be the same as feet first slides. And so when he just like head first rolled into the end zone to be a smartass, and they called him down at the 1-inch line because that's the rule. And no one was going to tackle him, so he just did it to be a wise ass, and it cost me a touchdown. So I was a little upset about that.
Valuable lesson.
He was just being fancy, and he cost me big time, so he's a dick. But let's move on. All right, Tony, you have one more 0, and that's at running back. Tell me who it is.
Yeah, I keep going over the same guys. What'd you call him? Hell no. Clydesdale, hell no. Like he broke a leg. They need to put that guy down, dude. He was running like he had a broken leg. He was terrible, dude. Terrible. And he has no spunk, man. No energy. No
Yeah.
jump at the line. He's just like, and falls. Terrible. That's my 0.
It's terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. All right, Royce, you also had a running back who was a 0 for you, and that was
Yeah, we talked about him earlier, Alvin Kamara. 8 rushes for 5 yards ball game.
That's
What?
bad.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Halftime,
bad.
he had 4 rushes for 2 yards. That's awful. He's
Little
the top 5 guy in the league, right?
hey
Yeah.
man, he doubled his point total in the second
Oh,
half.
that's true. Good point.
You can't
We'll
ask
take
for
that.
much more than that.
He did get 6 targets though. He caught 4 for 25, but
That's not good enough.
Dude, but
terrible.
listen, you saw Jameis. We didn't even have the ball very much. It was-
That's true. Yeah, but
throwing it to the
I
other
mean,
team.
well, neither did Tennessee for a second there. They gave it to their horse. Why not Kamara?
That's what
you
they
know?
should have done. I
Yeah,
think maybe
that's
they
what
learned a
they should've
valuable
done.
lesson.
Right. So, I mean, it's not going to happen every week, but I think a bad game for Kamara is 75 yards. I mean, this guy should be getting 100, 110 every game.
At least
Yeah.
combined.
Disappointing.
Come on.
Yeah, at least combined scrimmage, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, John, you're gonna roll with the wide receiver as your fantasy 0 this week. Let me know who it is.
You know him as Bobby Trees. I'm only going with Robert Woods from now on. He doesn't get a nickname. Didn't get it. Didn't earn it.
He got lost in the woods.
He got lost in the woods.
There you go.
Cooper Kupp is doing so well. So my fantasy hero was Cooper Kupp. My fantasy 0 is Bobby Woods.
Wow.
I thought he's just average. He just doesn't look very good. Stafford's not looking at him. I would sell while I could. If I don't feel like he's going to have anything this year. I'm not in.
Okay. And the last fantasy 0 is mine, and we don't even need to talk much about it. It was freaking Brandon Ayuk. Yuck. He did it again. This time he did catch a ball for 6 yards on 2 targets. And honestly, he looks like he's not really a part of the offense, and Deebo Samuel's the man there. So we can move on. We don't need to talk about Brandon Ayuk. You can't play him anymore. I wouldn't drop him just yet, but you definitely can't start him again. We started him 2 weeks in a row, and I think that's the last of it. We're not doing that again.
Nope.
Brutal.
All right.
Week 3 matchups.
Let's move on to our week 3 matchups. Let's talk about some games that we are looking forward to watching. I'm going to rattle them off, and we'll just discuss what we like about the game. If you want to make a waiver wire pickup for this game, any of that, whatever you feel like talking about. We'll start with the first interesting game, and that is the Washington football team at the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 8.5, and the over-under is 45.5. So not that high scoring of a game, according to Vegas. I'm going to start with you, Tony. What do you think about this game? Anything interest you?
Not really. I feel like it's going to be defense on defense. That's just my gut right now. I mean, the Allen should be able to figure it out, but I think this is the week that you're really going to see Washington's defense step up, and they're both going to be head banging. Like if Vegas is predicting that, I think it's going to be low scoring and boring. We'll see, but that's how I feel.
I really hope Josh Allen wakes the F up because it's time. Washington got lit up by Daniel Jones last week, so if Daniel Jones
did.
can do it,
Good.
Josh Allen can do it, and Josh Allen runs too. So I want to see him do some stuff this week. And Washington's really good against the run, so I think Buffalo's going to just pass. We'll see. What do you
Buffalo
think?
doesn't run. They don't run well anyway.
Yeah.
Danny Jones, waiver wire pickup. I like him this week.
Chuck picked him up in one of my leagues.
I
Play
did
him.
pick him up because I
Think about
noticed
Play
he's
him.
not until Saquon gets right, they're forced to use Daniel Jones a little bit more in the running game, which is interesting. Now he's a running quarterback, so running quarterbacks score a little bit more points. So I'm interested. I'm not going to play him, but I like
Also a
having him
tripping
back.
quarterback.
Yeah. All right, the next matchup that I liked on the
Wait, before you go off from that, can I just say something?
yeah.
Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
He's giving that job back to Fitzpatrick.
No.
They score. He's in the top 15 quarterbacks right now. I mean, granted, it's after 2 weeks, but
1.5 weeks, to be honest.
yeah.
He looks good.
Yeah.
He looks good. His arms alive. They almost beat Tampa in the playoffs last year, and he looked phenomenal until he got a separated shoulder. I'm telling you, he's this year's kind of like Kurt Warner kind of guy.
Mhm.
Kind of comes out of nowhere after an injury, never gives that job back. And I'm not going to be surprised if Washington doesn't win that game.
Interesting. All right. All right, now on to the next matchup that I liked, and that is the Chicago Bears at the Cleveland Browns. This is interesting. It's the Browns are favored by 7. The over/under is 46.5, so probably another low-scoring game. I'm excited to see if Odell Beckham gets on the field and see if he's healthy. What do you guys like about this game?
The Bears defense.
Yeah, Bears defense, man. And who they throwing the ball to? Cleveland ball game. Me, you?
Njoku.
Hooper.
Njoku.
I like
Yeah.
the Bear. I like the Bear. I like Montgomery. I like your running back, and I like the Bears
Mhm.
defense in this game.
Yeah, I like Montgomery a lot in this game too.
All right. Anything else on this game you guys want to mention, or are we good?
I think
I mean-
Kareem Hunt might get a few big catches. I know they stopped Mixon quite a lot, but I think Hunt might do something.
I think if Fields takes the field,
Oh,
big, I really believe he will have a very good game. I think they're going to run a little Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson-ish, but I think it's going to be I think it's going to be fun to watch. It might be a total disaster, but it'll be at least way more entertaining than watching the red rusted rifle.
That's good. I think this is the beginning of the end. We're about to see the future, and I don't think we're ever going to look back. I think Andy Dalton's done. I think the injury is the perfect excuse to get him out, put Fields in there, and Fields will never look back. This is it. I'm ready. I'm ready to watch this game. Let's see it.
Me too.
All right.
I'm here for it.
Indianapolis Colts at the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are favored by 5. The over/under is a little higher. It's 48. So we all like the Titans in this game, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we feel like Derrick
Yes.
Henry's going to run wild. We feel like, AJ Brown's going to get right in this game. Maybe get a couple TDs, right, Royce?
2.
Two.
Okay.
2. You like 2? I like that. Is there anything else that interests you in this game? Do we want to see, we don't want to see Eason, right, at quarterback. We want to see Carson Wentz, hopefully.
I'd stream the Titans defense if I didn't have a good D this week and Eason was going to play. I'd stream the Titans defense without a hesitation.
Absolutely.
That's a good call.
That
If
is a good
Eason
call.
plays, that's a good streaming defense, I think. However, if not, if Carson Wentz is behind center, do we go back to the well with Pittman? Do you think he's going to have a good game? Tennessee's got a porous secondary.
Yeah, I think I would if I had Pittman and I needed that receiver, I'd maybe flex him like a receiver 3. I don't know that I'd count it on as my 1, 2, but I'd flex him probably.
That is if Carson's playing, right?
Yeah, that's if Carson
Only
plays.
Only if Carson's playing, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next, this is probably the best matchup of the week, I think. This is super exciting. Los Angeles Chargers at the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 6.5. Over/under is 55.5. So Vegas says shootout. I say shootout. We all like shootouts, right?
Yeah.
A homie against Sherbert. I mean, this is gonna be fun, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be like the Ravens game in a way, but I think there's gonna be a little bit more passing and less running from QBs. So I'm excited about it. Definitely the game of the week.
And Clyde Edwards, hell nah, is gonna be benched. Keith.
He might.
You might actually. Yeah.
I
I
actually
like, you know who
Go ahead.
I like a lot? I like Mike Williams this year. That guy looks like a
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Does.
yeah. I got a share of him in one of my leagues and I really like it. I enjoy him this year.
He's doing great until he falls on his ass and breaks his
Right.
sphincter or something. You know it's coming.
I'm gonna talk about it.
I already told you who's going to get hurt. I already told you who's going to get hurt.
We know, Keenan Allen. we
Repeat.
know.
He's got 2 more weeks. Enjoy the next 2 weeks, everybody.
Wow. All right. Next matchup. Interesting to me. Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders are undefeated
Why is this interesting?
because the Raiders are undefeated. Derek Carr's on a roll.
MVP.
The Dolphins, if Tua plays, the Dolphins have a pretty good defense. I want to see if Carr can do this against their defense. That's what interests me. Raiders are favored by 3.5. Who'd have thought the Raiders would be favored over the Dolphins in this game? It's crazy. And the over-under is low scoring, 45. So the reason why I'm interested in this game is I want to see if these trends continue. I think Derek Carr is going to come up small, but we'll talk about that later. You guys have any interesting things to talk about in this game?
Hey, Chuck, what was the Miami Buffalo score again?
35-0.
Oh, good D on Miami. You're right. Yeah, good call.
And that was without Allen going off, right? Just wanna make
Yeah.
sure. Okay. Yeah, I think Carr's not going to come up small. I think he's going to come up huge.
Yeah.
I do think the Dolphins need to get Gaskin involved. They need to get Gesicki involved. That's like I don't get what they're doing. I just don't.
Ball game. I like Gaskin this week a lot, actually.
Tony, you got the
I can see
Dolphins
that.
D in several leagues. Do you dare play them against the Raiders?
Not now, not after last week. I'm down on him. I think Waller's going to have a bigger week too. He's going to go back to 1 week form. He's not going to be getting 20 targets, but I bet you they're going to unleash to him.
Yeah.
But I'm not
call.
playing the Dolphins this week. No.
Great call.
All right. So my favorite exciting offensive game was the Chargers at Chiefs, but I think the best game and the best matchup is the Tampa Bay Bucks at the Los Angeles Rams. The Bucks are favored by 1 on the road, and the over-under is also 55.5, same as the Chargers and Chiefs. What's going to happen? What do we like about this? I mean, go ahead, guys. Let me have it.
All right, I take the under in this.
Really?
Yeah. Because every time we get one of these games where it's supposed to be a shootout, pew, 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 it never is. It never is. It never lives up to the hype.
Yeah.
The game that's come close to that was the game, was it just yesterday or 2 days ago, with the Ravens and Chiefs. That finally lived up to one of those games. But before, it never happens. And both of these defenses, really freaking good. I like all the skilled players. I think they're going to score fine. I don't think it's going to be just a big giant free-for-all shootout.
Is Sonny Michel going to be the lead back in this game?
Yeah. Yes.
Play, I think he will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Out.
By the way, did you see who else they said might get play? Who did I talk?
Baby.
Oh.
We need the funk.
Oh, yeah.
Forget
Gotta
about
have
that
the
funk. Yeah.
Excellent.
Rams to the under, guys. I like that. Rams will be 3-0 after Sunday.
Wow. Ballsy.
Wow.
I'll tell you what.
That's a hot take.
I also have a hot take, and you guys, you can throw stones at me because I hate Tom Brady, and I talk a lot of smack. Tom Brady is gunning for the passing record this year. He's going to set the all-time passing record over Peyton Manning. It's going to happen.
He's got the weapons, man. I mean, he's got the weapons. Jesus.
He does.
He's going
It's
for
an
it.
embarrassment of riches in that group.
Every time they get to the 1 yard line, mark it down. He's throwing the ball. You can tell there's a concerted effort to break that record. It's coming. It's coming, guys. All right. Philadelphia Eagles at the Dallas Cowboys, the last exciting matchup. It's a Monday night game in Dallas, who are favored by 4 points. Over under 51.5. What's your gut tell you, John, in this game?
Under.
Yeah.
Under. I'm not going over on that. What do you think over?
Over?
Oh, look at you.
That's not laying an egg this game, dude. It's the Eagles, dude. It's going to be like this back and forth. Boom, boom,
But
boom,
the Eagles
boom,
can't
boom.
defend the run. Eagles can't defend the run. Amari is a little banged up. I don't know that I can.
CD Lamb, don't sleep on Blake Jarwin. Blake Jarwin. I just like saying his name.
It's just fun. Yeah.
Star Wars Jarwin. Huh.
Yeah.
Over.
I like Hurts, but I told you that at the beginning of the year. I now wish I hadn't said he was going to outscore Kyler Murray, but because he would take a miracle for that to happen.
Oh, yeah.
I do like him. He looks good. He's playing well. He's running well. I think he's one of the upcoming stars now.
We got some good games. Some good one. We get to end Monday night in Dallas. That's
I mean, but don't forget about that Thursday game.
Hey,
the
you guys,
Houston Thursday game.
hey, you guys made fun of me for wanting ball game was gone, but last Thursday game, dude, Giants Washington was a great game.
It was a great
right.
game.
It was a good game.
Really good.
Actually, all of the primetime games have been good so far this year.
Yeah. But we got a rookie.
Oh, we're watching.
Thursday will end that streak. It's gonna be
Speaking of stinkers,
The All Poop Team.
All right, the all poop team. Last week we did okay with the squad. Our goal is to pick like a DFS starting lineup with studs that are going to come up small in week 3. That is the goal. So last week, Tony, you took Derek Carr at quarterback, and Derek Carr exploded, but not in the way we were wanting him to explode. He went off 28 for 37, 382, and 2 touchdowns. So I don't know if that was a good call. Royce, you took Mike Davis at running back. Pretty good call. 9 carries, 38 yards, 7 catches for 25, but he was outplayed by Patterson, right?
Guess who I'm taking again this week?
Yeah, we'll see.
Mike Davis.
Keith took Elijah Mitchell. Great call. He came up small, 17 for 42. I said Joe Mixon, 20 carries, 69 yards, came up small. Tony went Deebo Samuel. While he didn't get a touchdown, he did 6 for 93. Pretty good game, 15
It's
points.
not bad.
It's not bad,
No.
but didn't come up big. And then Royce, you went with Devontae Parker, 5 for 42. Pretty good. Keith went Justin Jefferson, which I thought was real ballsy, but Justin Jefferson got 6 for 65 and a touchdown. So pretty good fantasy day, actually. And then I went all in on Darren Waller, and Waller came up smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 for 65. Pretty good for a tight end, 11 points, but not for Waller. That's not good.
Very pedestrian.
So now we go on to this week, and we're going to start with John at tight end. Who is on your all poop team?
Jared Cook. He's not part of the offense. He's just not pulling out numbers. I dropped him in a league. I was kind of excited to have him. He's just not part of the offense. I'm out.
All right. So Jared
No.
Cook at tight end. So now let's put together 3 wide receivers. And Tony, we'll start with you at wide receiver. Who's on your list?
This guy I love, and I think we all kind of liked him, but because of the QB situation, and it was just one good week, I'm going with Pittman. We were talking about him earlier, but unless you get ankles back, I don't think he's going to do crap. But then again, with my picks from last week, he could be the complete opposite. So we'll see if lame ankle will get in there, but I doubt it. And if you have Eason in there, Pittman's not going to do anything. Ain't happening.
I agree. All right, Royce, your wide receiver of choice for the all poop team is?
Mike Evans this week. Let's hear it. Only reason why is he had such a good week last week, and he hasn't put 2 good games together since 2002. I don't know how long he's been in the league. So again, Tampa Bay is a carousel. It's the Rams this week. I heard Ramsey's going to be on him. So 2 catches, 20 yards.
That week.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Joe Mixon. They don't put 2 weeks in a row together.
No, so it's an easy pick.
And I told you Brady was going to pepper Mike Evans this week because he had a terrible week the week before. And actually, on Sirius XM radio, I was listening to Tom Brady on his new show talk about that before the game, and he was saying, "Don't worry about Mike Evans. I'm going to get him his this week." And he did.
He
And
did.
he did. Yeah.
Wow, Chuck, for someone who's not a big Tom Brady fan, listens to his radio.
I'm coming around. I'm coming around.
Further proof that Tom Brady can do pretty much anything Tom Brady wants to do.
Yeah.
All right, John, you had a wide receiver on the all poop team this week. Who is it?
I don't like Adam Thielen this week. I'm not feeling Thielen. I think he's first of all, have you guys seen KJ Osborne?
Yeah, he's awesome.
That guy's good.
That guy's really good. He's a second player, just like Justin Jefferson. I think those two end up being the top 2 receivers by the end of the season. I think Thielen, he had a great first week, very average second week. I think he's going to go down. I don't feel.
Were you feeling that poop running down your leg? Because that was a juicy one there, Johnny Ballgame.
You get that right.
Woo! All right. All right. I got a big name, little ballsy, maybe not. Alvin Kamara.
Oh, yeah.
Alvin Kamara's at New
Wow.
England. And what is Bill Belichick famous for, guys? Taking away your best weapon. Alvin Kamara's the best weapon. Without Alvin Kamara, the Saints offense is pretty much shit. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Bill Belichick's going to scheme against Alvin Kamara. He's going to come up small.
I almost went with the Patriots defense as my hero for this last.
Yeah, they were
because
great, man.
They were
giant.
great.
Yeah,
They look good.
helped me tremendously.
All right, we got 2 more running backs to go for. Tony, you got one at running back.
Jumping on your bandwagon. I'm going Mixon second week in a row. He ain't doing crap against the curtain. It ain't happening. He's going to be terrible up in there. It pains me, but he's going to suck.
Yeah, he's probably going to come up small against that defense. Nobody runs against the Steelers.
Nah.
Buddy.
All right, Roy, go for it, Tony. Were you done?
I just said they got to throw. They got to throw anyway.
They got to throw. And Pittsburgh proved last week they can be thrown on.
Yeah.
Yeah, Derek Carr lit them up. All right, Royce,
MVP.
you have a running back for the all-poop team. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm riding on the coattails of poop here. Second week in a row, Mike Davis again. It's Cornell Patterson's backfield, guys. He's done.
Sure is.
A lot of us pick Mike Davis to be our. I think we talked earlier, be our third, maybe flex. But he had nine opportunities in week 1, and Patterson had 13 this last Sunday. So it's his show, guys. So Mike Davis. Bye.
Poopy poop. All right. And finally, we need a quarterback for our lineup, and I'll take that responsibility. And guess who I'm going with, guys? You're going to be mad at me. Dakota Rain Prescott. Yeah. Dakota's going to come up real short this week at home against the Eagles. There might not be any Amari Cooper for this game. There is no Michael Gallup for this game. And the Eagles' defense is sneaky good against the pass. Also, they're not very good against the run. So this feels like a Zeke game. I think Zeke's going to get
does.
Yeah, in this game. So I think Dak's going to come out small.
I'm with you.
Let's run down our list again. This is the all-poop team, the team that's going to come up small this week in week 3. And at quarterback was Dak Prescott. And at running back, we had Joe Mixon, Alvin Kamara, Mike Davis, and then at wide receiver, we go Adam Thielen, Mike Evans, and Michael Pittman. And John at tight end goes Jared Cook. That is our all-poop team for this week. Don't play these guys in DFS, fellas. Don't do it.
Just don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I got to poop now, dude.
Yeah, me too.
You're all loose.
Oof.
Crypto Fantasy.
All right. New segment, guys. And this is for me. If you know me, you know I'm a cryptocurrency guy. I have some Bitcoin. I got some Ethereum. I got some Cardano and a bunch of other altcoins. I'm really into the crypto game. So we're going to play a little crypto fantasy today. And what that means is we're going to take guys that we think are under the radar that we might buy low on, where their price might go up later in the season. And then we're going to take some guys and sell high on them that we think are great right now. We're going to go down in the future. So a little crypto, we're calling it crypto fantasy. And we'll start with me since I invented this game. I'm going to buy low first on Josh Allen. He's been pedestrian so far. He has the easiest schedule coming up for all the quarterbacks, though. After Washington this week, we got the Texans, Chiefs, Titans, Jags, the Jets twice, the Colts, the Buccaneers, and the Falcons. So things are going to start cooking for Chef Allen, I think, here coming up. What do you guys think?
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Just by that
I
schedule.
hate him.
Yeah, just by that schedule alone, Chuck. I'm excited, man. I know we have him in our league, so yeah. Go Josh.
Do it. Let's go. Let's ride. Let's go, Josh Allen. This is
Throw
why.
the ball. Throw
We
the
need him.
ball.
All right, John, I want you to buy low on somebody. Who are you buying low on?
I am buying low on AJ Brown. I think some people are going to start panicking on that guy. And I mean, if you look, he's the 53rd wide receiver. not player. He's the 53rd wide receiver in our league this year. I know some people got to be already panicking on him. I mean, we have such juggernauts ahead of him, such as DJ Chark, Deontay Harris, some people like that. So I'd say I'd go with AJ Brown. Try to get that guy. He will get it right.
I agree. He's just too beastly not to. I mean, come on.
Yeah. 2 touchdowns, according to Royce.
All right. Tony, you have a buy low candidate, also a wide receiver. Let me have it.
This is a long shot, and you guys are going to laugh because of the quarterback issue. But I'm going Brandon Cooks. I mean, I understand that Tyrod is.
You're right. I laughed. Sorry.
I know he's looked good with Tyrod, but they don't have anybody else. And I don't think the defenses aren't even really taking him serious. So I'm not saying he's getting 200 yards a game, but I think he's going to put up 70 yards and a touchdown every week. So if you need somebody, you need like a flex guy or a second wide receiver, I'd go out and grab Cooks while you can.
They should just call him 1K Cooks. That guy gets 1,000 yards
every year.
He does, man.
No matter who the quarterback is, no matter what team he's on his 18th team, and I think it's 1,000 yards every year. So
18th team. That's correct.
18th, I'm pretty sure.
He's trying to set the record over Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
Have they ever played together, I wonder?
Probably.
Yeah.
That 2 crossing over.
They have to.
Probably.
Sure they have.
No. All right. Another buy low candidate from Royce. You had a running back. Who you got?
Yeah, we talked about earlier Tony Pollard, just from his game last week. Yeah, I think you can go low on him. People are freaking out on Zeke, so.
And you want to buy low on Pollard.
Buy low.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Pollard looks like the better running back, like you said
It
earlier.
does. I think he is right now. So, yeah, definitely.
And if Zeke were to go down to injury,
he's an automatic RB1, automatically.
John's got something to say, though. Go for it, Johnny.
Well, I have him on my sell high.
Oh, do you?
Go for it.
He's on my sell high list.
He's a double bagger.
People are going to way overvalue him.
Oh, that's funny.
He's not going to hit it down the stretch. I think they're still going to stay with Zeke for all the reasons we've already talked about. I would sell Tony Pollard. I would get myself a really great receiver for him or somebody like that, great tight end, because somebody's going to fall for it and somebody's going to be fooled by Tony. I've been hurt by Tony Pollard before. I think all of us from last year.
Yeah.
He didn't end up panning out. So he's in my sell high.
That's funny.
Nice. I like that. All right. I had a buy low candidate, and that's Antonio Gibson. Running back 20. I said 27 earlier. He's
27,
actually running back 29 right now.
Oh.
Yeah, he's not the passing down back, but he wasn't last year. And like I said, he was a top 15 running back last year. And he's still getting more touches than he did last year so far. So I look for a regression to the means. I think he's going to start doing his thing, getting some touchdowns, and moving up the board. I'm ready to buy low on Antonio Gibson. All right. We had another buy low candidate from Tony at tight end. Who are you buying low on?
Noel Santa Claus. I think I kind of stole that from Chuck a little bit, but dude, he's pretty much the number 2 guy over there for Bridgewater.
Yeah.
Dude, he's going to tee off and bring us all, gifts, at least by Christmas anyway. I think he's going to have a great season. I did say that, the preseason I was talking about, I was high on him. Now I'm dead set. I don't know why I waited. I got 1 share of that dude out of 6 leagues. So, yeah, look for him to kick some ass. Grab him while you can.
I can dig that. One more buy low candidate for John at wide receiver. Who you got?
Yeah, but I'm changing the one that I told you that I was going to go because this one hit me a little bit after we talked about this. Allen Robinson. Robinson, I think when Fields gets in there, I think he's going to look to the veteran who's going to start taking him. And actually, Robinson dropped a sure touchdown.
Yeah, he did.
And it was going to be beautiful. And Robinson doesn't drop that many, so that's not going to happen again. I'd buy low on that guy right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I can see that.
That's funny. I sell high on him. I'm just kidding.
All right. Speaking of sell high, I'm about to sell high on Jared Goff.
Oh,
Jared Goff is quarterback 8 right now,
what?
and Jared Goff is going to crumble.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game last night?
Yeah,
They're up
yeah.
17-14 in Lambeau, and he fumbles a snap. Then he fumbles the ball while trying to throw it, a pass. Then he throws an interception to seal the deal. Detroit's strength is running the ball. They have a great offensive line, and they're going to start slowly taking the ball out of Goff's hands and running the ball more. They're going to have more favorable running matchups, and Jared Goff's going to end up outside the top 24 quarterbacks. Sell high.
It's-
All right.
Agreed.
I just don't know after watching that game who's going to buy him. I just
Exactly.
who's going to go.
Now,
I got to get me some. I got to give me some shares of golf. Who's got him? I want that guy on my team.
Someone that looks at just the stats and sees he's a top 10 quarterback right
Yeah.
now might say, "Oh,
Right.
I want Goff."
Yeah, that's
Sell
true.
him.
You
Sell
know,
him.
Yes.
No.
real quick, you watch all four quarters of that game last night. That was Jared Goff's entire his
Spectrum.
his 3 year or whatever in the league. Great
Yeah.
first 2 quarters, bad last 2 quarters. That was his
Mhm.
entire
Yeah.
Rams career, right?
Exactly.
In one game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Tony, you're going to sell high on a tight end, and this is ballsy. Give it to me.
It is ballsy, but Gronk, I just don't see it. I mean, I know he's badass right now, but I don't see him even having the stamina. And God, it's such a tough pick because they got so many weapons. So you take out Gronk, you got to worry about the other 3 or 4. So whatever one you take out, you have to worry about. But I don't think Gronk's going to keep it up. I don't think they can. I think he's going to fade for a while, maybe towards the end of the season. Don't make comments about keeping it up. I see your face. By the end of the season, he'll be all right. But I think now's the time to sell him. You could probably get something really good for him.
You were questioning Gronk's stamina, and I was thinking, the party animal? I bet you a lot of ladies don't question his stamina, big guy.
True. I know, but he's the right-hand man of Brady. I've been questioning Brady's stamina for 8 years.
You questioned
So-
his stamina and then whether he could keep it up. That's what
I
I
know. I know.
I don't know what the hell's happening right now.
He's going to start selling Gronk pills when he retires.
All right, John, you had a sell high candidate. And
I
as a receiver,
do.
give it
This
to me.
guy is #1 fantasy receiver in our league right now. A little fella we've all been burned by before. His name is Tyler Lockett. Tyler had a great first 2 weeks. He's had a great first 2 weeks. Where have we seen this game before, right? And so
Yeah.
DF was my original one that I had talked to Tony about maybe buying low, but I don't think anybody's anybody's selling him. So DK Metcalf is the 36th receiver right now. So we know that's going to even out, and Lockett's going to end up fading, and then DK is going to overtake him and will be the #1 receiver. But right now, he had a 36 burger and a 45 burger. I'd sell that guy right now immediately and get somebody really phenomenal for him.
I totally agree. We've seen this show before, and it
Yeah.
doesn't end well for Tyler Lockett.
It never ends well.
it does.
Never ends well.
He'll have 2 games the rest of the season that are phenomenal.
Exactly.
Speaking of things that never end well, Royce has a guy at wide receiver that he doesn't think it's going to end well for him, and he's going to sell high on this guy. Tell me, who is it?
It's easy one. Mike Williams. This just in. Mike Williams just hurt his ankle. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. It's gonna happen. 2 great first games. I'll be honest with you. Most targets on the team. He had 22 points first game and 22 points in the second game. It's just a matter of time. This guy hasn't played 16 games. I don't think since Pee Wee League. I think. So high.
He plays 16 games, but he plays like half of a game of each one.
Yeah, he comes back in. For
He
4
does,
games.
doesn't he?
Ball
Out.
lands
He
on his
does.
ass.
He does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That's
does.
it. That's it, coach.
Yeah.
Yeah. So be wary.
All right. And I'm going to sell high on Cooper Kupp.
Woo.
Wide receiver 2 overall right now. First of all, Cooper Kupp's an injury-prone dude, and he's going to get hurt. That's my guess. He's going to miss a few games. Second of all, teams are going to start keying in on Kupp. He's been so phenomenal in the first 2 games, and he's been dominant. Now the teams are going to game plan against him. And I don't think he's that kind of dominant receiver that can handle that kind of double teaming and they're gonna chuck him at the line. Give him the business. It's coming for him. They're especially if they play the Patriots. Like Bill Belichick will just F with that guy. So it's coming. I think his production's going to go down. He'll still be a wide receiver, like a low-end wide receiver 1 or maybe a high-end wide receiver 2. But he's not going to keep up this top 5 bullshit. No way.
Yeah.
You guys,
I agree. I kind of agree.
Not really agreeing with me. I can see it on his face.
No, I'm with you. I don't think he can sustain this. And again, like Forrest and I were talking about, he's always open right now.
Open. Always
like,
open.
Everybody's like, "Hey, where's that one little fella? Where's he at?"
Right.
And he just goes and gets open. But I don't think that'll stay. Defensive coordinators are super smart in this league, and you're not going to do that for more than two weeks. So I'm with you.
All right, and John, we already know you're selling high on Tony Pollard, so we'll skip that one. And our
Sure am.
final.
He's the number 8 running back right now. He's the number 8. Yeah.
Exactly. All right, so Tony, you're our final sell high candidate, and he's a running back. What do you got?
Some of this is more personal. I got Chase Edmonds in Arizona. Now I know not everybody loves this guy as a number 1, but in some of my leagues, he's the starter. Arizona looks good. And it's like, nah, I mean, you saw what Connor was doing. They're actually giving Connor the ball more than I thought. And Connor looks halfway decent. Pains me to say that one too.
Mm-hmm.
And then, the QB is going to be running. So sell Chase while people still have an interest in him being the number 1 back. Get rid of him now and see if you can get somebody decent because you're not going to be able to use him by week 6.
He's also a guy that gets hurt a lot.
Yeah, and right now is the time to.
He does.
Right now is the time to sell him because they're going to play Jacksonville, so somebody might see that and go, "Ooh, I'm going to get all kinds of points."
Right.
So this is the week to try to sell him if you're going to do that.
Roll with Royce, the degenerate gambler.
All right, final segment. This is a weekly thing now. Roll with Royce, the degenerate gambler. Royce, you were 3-1-1 in week 1. Last week you gave us 2 games and you were 1-1. So you're 4-2-1 so far this season? That's pretty good. That'll make you money.
That'll make you some money. Yeah, anything above 500 is a win.
That's right. So you're going to give us 2 more picks that are locks for this week. You can go, you can go gamble the entire mortgage. Buy a car, buy a house. These are locks of the week. Royce, who you got first?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I love the Raiders 3.5 in Miami this week. We don't know if Tua's coming out. Even if he does, he's not going to be 100%. Their backup was a Brissett. Did not look good. Didn't score. They still haven't scored a point yet. And Carr is Ballgame's MVP, man. I like the Raiders. I like him. I like him by 10. I'd say 28-17 in that game. I like the Raiders. And then you got to go Panthers minus 7.5 against the Texans, baby. Yeah, that game's gonna be a blowout. That game's gonna be over at halftime. It's gonna be 28-3 at halftime. Take the Panthers with their defense. I don't know who the Texans are rolling out. I have no idea. Williams, I want to say. I don't know.
Oh, he's a rookie. It's Mills.
Williams. Yeah, dime a dozen.
2 L's.
Yeah.
Got an L in there.
Did you say the line was only 7?
7.5. I don't know why it's so low right now. So why it's Tuesday? We're doing this. So get it at 7.5. It's gonna go up. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets to 10 by Sunday.
Especially now that they've announced Mills as the quarterback. I can't see it being less. It's
I was thinking like 10.5. Actually,
call your bookie now, guys. Do it tonight and get that 7.5. It's gonna go up. So those are my 2 picks.
All right, guys. That was for entertainment purposes only.
Right.
This is not financial advice. Do not go sell your house and car to put money on these games. But we're going to see how Royce does, and we'll keep track of him all year. Thanks, Royce.
We got it.
All right, guys. Another excellent show. Thank you to Johnny Ballgame. The return of Johnny Ballgame. Welcome back. And our champion for this week, Tony Sir Boops a lot. Appreciate you, brother.
Hopefully not the last time. It probably will be. Probably last time I say that.
And the Degenerate Gambler, Fantasy Rolls Royce, thank you again, and great picks for this week. We appreciate you as well. I'm the Fantasy Reaper. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Hit that notification bell. We'll be back next week, ramping up for week 4. We hope you enjoy this Sunday's games, and aloha.
Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Later, dude.
Thanks for watching, bitches. Tune in next week for another episode of Fantasy Sports Island, or I will poop.